Yeah, what's poppin'? It's Bang. Back at it with the second part, second session of the Boobang Theory. The last video kind of got disrupted and shut off prematurely, so I'm gonna jump right into it, man. We was talking about the election and Kamala Harris and your boy Joe Biden. I think I kind of ended up with telling y'all a little bit about Kamala Harris and all the different things that she carried, all the baggage she carried, throughout her career. I'm gonna get to Joe Biden though. So, like I said, do your research on Kamala Harris so you know what type of person she is and what we done got ourselves into with her. Joe Biden. So back in the day, Joe Biden was accused of reciting other politicians or leaders from different countries' speeches. He was also confronted about those and said that they was actually his own speeches. But come to find out that he used other people's speeches and kind of threw his name in place of where their name was. And he finally admitted to it. And it was a big thing back then about that. I think that was in the 80s, 88. Also in 1988, he did speak on public education and then the poor. But back then, he was also, like I said, known for saying a lot of different things. 1994, he raised a crime bill that resulted in mass incarceration. So all your family members and everybody that you know in there for high ass sentences on like low offense drug crimes, he the one did that. He the one put that in place. He also said that from his name been on each crime bill from, what was that, 1976? I think it was, from his name been on every crime bill from 1976. Joe Biden also was part of the bankruptcy bill that made it harder for students to reduce their student loans and it made it harder for consumers to actually file for bankruptcy. So he was a part of that bill too, that got the students now, your kids and your grandkids that's in college. He the one that put that bill up there so to hike the rates on the student loans, so it made it harder for them to actually be able to get out of debt. He was in 1991. He was harsh on the drug dealers. He gave government the authority to take any and everything, confiscate everything. He gave the feds legal. He gave them the legal right to confiscate everything. So everybody, they went to the feds and they took their cars, they took their houses and all their money and shit like that, confiscated everything. Joe Biden is behind that bill. Joe Biden is the one to put that bill of the feds. You do 100% of your time, and then he say what he say? And notable exceptions will do 85% of their time. So that's the feds. He put that law in place too. You gotta watch out for your boy Joe Biden, man. I'm telling you. What else I got off here? I wanted to really say, because I got a clip I want you to hear about Joe Biden and how he actually feel about motherfuckers. Because he, I just like when you first meet somebody, dude or girl, you go on the first date, you're on your best behavior. You know what I'm saying? You trying to show all your best qualities. That's what the fucking politicians do. That's what Joe Biden and them is doing. They straight up motherfucking finessing the whole community. They finesse the whole black community, man. So anyway, he the one made the law about burning the flag. He made that a crime. Death penalty bill. He was harsh on that, on the death penalty. Let me see. I want y'all to hear this clip, man, because he gonna do more justice on this shit right here than I can. Just, you know, giving y'all a look. Like I said, he's behind a lot of bills though. That far as he was a law and order type motherfucker. The same way they trying to say Trump is, your boy Joe Biden is too. But I want y'all to check out this clip.
Joe Biden was such an outspoken supporter, he said, quote, "I'd like to be running and have someone use the crime bill against me."
We must take back the streets. It doesn't matter whether or not the person that is accosting your son or daughter or my son or daughter, my wife, your husband, my mother, your parents. It doesn't matter whether or not they were deprived as a youth. It doesn't matter or not whether or not they had no background that enabled them to become socialized into the fabric of society. It doesn't matter whether or not they're the victims of society. The end result is they're about to knock my mother on the head with a lead pipe, shoot my sister, beat up my wife, take on my sons. So I want to ask, what made them do this? They must be taken off the street. That's number one. There's a consensus on that. Unless we do something about that cadre of young people, tens of thousands of them, born out of wedlock, without parents, without supervision, without any structure, without any conscience developing, because they literally, I yield myself 3 more minutes, because they literally have not been socialized. They literally have not had an opportunity. We should focus on them now. If we don't, they will, or a portion of them will, become the predators 15 years from now. And Madam President, we have predators on our streets that society has, in fact, in part because of its neglect, created. Again,
He called us predators. Now, like I said, he ain't specifically targeted or said a specific race or a group, but as you listen to him, you can kind of put it together who the hell he talking about. He ain't talking about the old rich white kids or nothing like that. Listen to what he actually saying. He talking about people in
it does
power.
not mean because we created them that we somehow forgive them or do not take them out of society to protect my family and yours from them. They are beyond the pale, many of those people. Beyond the pale. And it's a sad commentary on society. We have no choice but to take them out of society. And the truth is, we don't very well know how to rehabilitate them at that point. That's the sad truth. I'm the guy that said, rehabilitation, when it occurs, we don't understand it and notice it.
Bobby Rush, member of Congress, said the other day, "I'm ashamed that I voted for the '94 crime bill." You ashamed of that bill?
Not at all. In fact, I drafted the bill.
Not at all. So, after hearing that, man, I know you gotta go back, listen to it, and many times as you need to, go back and actually pull up the footage. You know what I'm saying? It's Joe Biden's past laws and bills that he passed, rather. I mean, all you gotta do is put in Joe Biden and history of his politics or whatever, anything like that, and all this shit will start pulling up. Do your research. You ain't gotta, believe me, but the motherfucker Joe Biden, man, he on them people's side. All the motherfuckers is puppets, man. They all getting pulled. All they strings getting pulled by the same motherfuckers. So regardless of who we pick for, who we voted for, it don't even matter. They both motherfucking two sides of the same coin, man. They both the same motherfuckers. I think as far as voting though, now you could say that like down on a lower level, on a city or county level, the votes, I believe, do something down on this level, as far as who we choosing as governors and who we choosing as mayor and all that. And they still, I think, too, at the same time, got his tricks behind the doors on who they really want to put in there. But it may work. It might have more effect on the lower level than up on president and all that. In the Senate, we ain't even, man, look, our votes do not matter when it comes to anybody in that motherfucking White House. I don't give a fuck how we look at it. Them numbers is already ramped up. Them motherfuckers is already knowing who they gonna choose. They already know. It's just like, you know, selecting the president. You know, they go by off the electric vote. So, you know, anybody to get that 270 first, that's who get in office. So and they letting us know in front of our faces. All them billions of numbers you see at the bottom, then they count them. Yeah, okay, you know, they close. He got 34,000 more, some shit like that. But up here, them motherfuckers got 270 and motherfucking 214 or something like that. Trump. Anyway, Trump still, you know, won't concede. He still don't want to get out the motherfucking White House. I don't give a fuck. I don't really care who be in that motherfucker, because when it's all said and done, we're gonna have to go out this whole fucking Constitution and start from ground zero, man. We're gonna have to start from, you know, from ground one. We're gonna have to start from, you know, and build the foundation back up by the people. Everybody in that house need to get the fuck up out of it, man. We need to exterminate that house and tear that motherfucker down. And I ain't saying literally go run and tear the White House down. I'm talking, you know, in terms of, you know, getting rid of all the bad apples, all the bad motherfucking seeds that's been corrupting our fucking system from day one. All the motherfuckers, the whole family breed, all the motherfucking related motherfuckers, all them families that been running the government need to get the fuck out. You know, they ass need to be prosecuted and they need to be put in jail, man, straight up. They got some people got a lawsuit, a crime on humanity lawsuit against the government right now. They trying to push forward. So we all need to wake up and realize this shit, man. Only thing this is, we had halftime. This is like a fucking football game. We had halftime, you know what I mean? And Donald Trump, the motherfucking quarterback, they like, hey man, we got to get him out there and put the secondary quarterback in, because he in there fucking up. You know, Donald Trump in there throwing motherfucking interceptions, motherfucking incomplete passes, motherfucking Trump ain't doing no good in there, you know. So like, oh, let's go get the second quarterback. Let's put his ass on the bench. They about to put Trump on the bench, man. Let's get the new quarterback in. Joe Biden come in and see what he can do. That's what this is, man. They had time, and you know, so they just trade motherfucking quarterbacks, man. They on the same team. On the same motherfucking team, though. So when it's all said and done, we all need to wake up and realize, go do your research on laws, go do your research on the Constitution, pull that shit up and look and see what the fuck going on. Because we are in a time of tyranny. We are in a time where the government is overreaching. We are in a time where we have the right as citizens to be able to overthrow the fucking government. We have that fucking right. It's in the Constitution. If these motherfuckers start overreaching, which they have, they all in our motherfucking pockets. They done went in our drawers and shit. They pulling our socks down. They done overreach like a motherfucker. They in total violation of privacy and all kind of shit. So what we really need to start doing is get on their ass, man. All this protesting is cool, but we really need to start going up in these motherfucking buildings on their shit, really getting on their ass, you know, like, let's pull these cameras out on the corners with these motherfucking bullhorns and let's start, you know, let's do our own news. Fuck the fucking Fox 4 and all that, Fox 5, Channel 5 and 41. I watch that shit to get some insight on what they doing or what their agenda is. But that ain't, the news they giving us is that fear shit. You know, these are all fear tactics, man. That's a lower vibration, man. They got us on the lowest vibration possible. Fear. You know what I'm saying? Let's raise our vibration up, man. Once we raise up our vibration, you know, and get past that fear, they can't do shit to us, man. Fuck all that fear mongering. Stop being a fucking scared of this motherfucking punk ass virus that ain't no worse than a motherfucking common fucking flu that we get every year. It's just a different type of strain. Y'all need to really get this shit together, man. Fuck them vaccines, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna get into all that shit too, man. But anyway, I want to get on some of this KC news, man. I don't want to be on here too fucking long though. So this KC news, man. Mary Lucas, man, what are you doing, man? I'm talking to you right now, Mary Lucas. If you see this video, somebody see this video that know Mary Lucas or know how to contact him, tell them look at this video, man. I really need you to do your research on the mask and on this motherfucking virus and on immune systems. Because it seems to me like you just going with the status quo. It's like you just going with whatever they tell you to do, man. I understand you trying to be soft. You trying your best. You said you trying to be patient and not be able to put back on harsh restrictions. I understand you saying that you try your best to be patient, all that. But what you really need to do is do your research and get a team of doctors and nurses that are retired, put the group together and have them go look at those numbers that's in those hospitals. Have them go do a checkup after every fucking file come through with the COVID case. Had them check every file. Had them check every motherfucking patient to make sure that those things is accurate. And the PR test supposedly is not even qualified to be testing for virus. And this is in the motherfucking WHO papers and on their websites and all the studies they did on those PR tests. It's in clear black and white that those PR tests are not qualified to pull. They is too sensitive to work, so that anybody could have had a cold. They could have had any type of nasal, backup. They could have had any type of sinus issue, and that PR test will pick up that as a positive for the virus, and that is a false negative. So y'all need false positive. So y'all need to really do y'all research. Mary Lucas, you need to start looking into this. Get a team of doctors and nurses so they can check every single case and make sure that those numbers is right, because you are putting our lives in jeopardy by putting these restrictions in place. You are killing the economy, putting these restrictions in place, going off false numbers. So you really need to put somebody in there and let us be more clear with us. Let us see those numbers before you go and start putting in restrictions due to what you find on them papers. Those numbers is not accurate. That's why y'all had to stop for a couple times, and for like a week or two, when y'all came out said it was like 3,000 cases. Oh no, it ain't. It's only a week later come back and say, oh, it was only 300 cases. It was a glitch in the system. Fuck that. Y'all know something going wrong. Y'all know them numbers ain't right. Y'all keep trying to justify the numbers. We want to see those numbers, man. We want to get a team of doctors and nurses and infectious disease professionals in a group that's retired, so they have no backlash, so they won't be in fear of losing their jobs, because a lot of these doctors and nurses who know what's going on in these hospitals in fear of losing their jobs, in fear of the backlash they're gonna get. And so you really need to start doing something on that, man. We're gonna start pushing on that. And with the mask, you know that the mask causes hypoxia. You know that the mask restricts our airway and our oxygen intake. You know that the masks have us to breathe out and take back in our O2. So or on carbon. This shit is not good for us. You know that it's affecting our immune system. And if you don't know, go do your research. Go look up Dr. Let me get his name. I'll get his name in a minute. But it's plenty of doctors on the internet who's telling you about those masks. It's plenty of doctors who say those masks, even when they wear them in surgical situations in a hospital, they don't touch them. Once you touch them, you gotta dispose of it. And they only wear them for 30 minutes at a time, and they gotta go and switch them out. So for the people that y'all tell them to wear masks out here, and they wear these masks all day, touching and fiddling with them all day. Some people got these masks they've been wearing for over months now. They got them hanging up in their car. They go out and they put them right back on. Them things is full with germs, and that's getting people sick. That's gonna cause another reaction. That's gonna be another reason or another excuse for y'all to say, oh, this is the second motherfucking wave coming in. Nah, motherfucker, it's the second wave because y'all done got these people sick by wearing these fucking masks, by all these fucking germs that they put on these masks. And truth of the matter is, the motherfucking virus is so small that they gonna go around those masks, up under those masks, over those masks, and anytime somebody pull those masks off to drink or talk or whatever, it's going in too. The motherfucking virus ain't gonna stop when somebody eating at a restaurant just because they eating. The motherfucking virus ain't gonna halt because you drinking a fucking soda and say, hold on, let me wait till he put his mask back on. That's fucking bullshit and you know it. You need to do your research on the masks and stop putting this bullshit out here, all fear-mongering and putting fear into these fucking people's heart. Another thing I'm so pissed off about. I'm gonna get back on you, Mary Lucas, about these fucking restrictions and all this shit. But I'm so pissed off about this homeless situation and the fucking veteran situation that's going on. Y'all mean to tell me, I just heard on the news the other day, it's some fucking organization they call they supposed to be helping the homeless out in Kansas City. They want to get funded by some bank to go buy a lot or a plot to make a fucking homeless park. Are you fucking kidding me? Huh? Look me in my motherfucking face, blood. Are you fucking kidding me? A fucking homeless shelter? A fucking homeless park? They said, and hopefully we get the loan, I guess this month. That way the park can be ready by the winter. Oh, you want to make a fucking park and put these homeless people in the park in the cold in the wintertime? And you think that's a fucking good idea? You really think that's a fucking good idea to put homeless people in the park at wintertime and talk about, yeah, it's gonna be a good thing for downtown, it'll clean up downtown. Oh, so that's the real reason you wanna put up a fucking park? You wanna put up a park because you wanna clean up downtown. You tired of seeing all the homeless people hanging out on the bus stops downtown, and you think it's dirtying up your streets, huh? You don't want to see that, huh? You want to put them somewhere off in the motherfucking woods, don't you, man? Is that so fucking crazy? But yet and still, y'all put in multiple $1 million in a fucking new pet shelter. I'm talking about multiple millions, man. These people they just built a fucking pet shelter. And I love the pets too, but motherfucker, you want to save the pets before you save human beings? Y'all built a motherfucking multiple $1 million pet shelter in Swope Park for pets. And y'all gonna build a motherfucking park for the homeless people. Not only that, they shutting down shelters. They shut down the shelter that was downtown. That's why the homeless is running around through the streets and sitting on bus stops downtown, because they closed that motherfucker down. So you gonna close down shelters, open up pet shelters, and put the people in a park. Oh my fucking goodness. Are y'all hearing this shit, man? And then you go past downtown, past the city market, and they got a big ass dog park. It's a big ass multiple $1 million dog park. These motherfuckers got all kind of shit down there. Multiple different buildings everywhere. That motherfucker bigger than the Landing. The Landing Mall on 63rd Street in Midtown. That motherfucker bigger than that, man. And I guarantee you it costs way more money than that Landing Mall. This is a mall. A strip mall. And I guarantee you that motherfucking pet park costs way more, and it look way better than that motherfucker. It's upgraded way more. You mean to tell me y'all gonna treat pets and animals better than you treat humans? Do you see where our society is going, man? Do you see how they doing us? Our life means no more than a motherfucking dog's, man. You understand me? That's why they put these masks on us, man. They ain't nothing but motherfucking muzzle. I told y'all that motherfucking in April. when they started putting this mass shit out, them was muzzles. They treating us like fucking pets, like less than pets. You know what I mean? We less important than the unimportant. You feel me? And then, after the homeless, let's talk about the vets. Since Veterans Day just passed and they talking all this bullshit, how they love vets. Oh, really? You making these multi-million-dollar motherfucking pet shelters, and then you go on 89th Street and make about 80 small houses for the homeless vets. For real? Them houses are smaller than the smallest room in my motherfucking house. Them houses are smaller than my kitchen. Them niggas can crawl up the walls like this, man, feet and hands, up to the ceiling. Ceiling probably this far from their head, blood. Straight up. They treat people wrong, man. You mean to tell me you love vets that much and you go get them these little ass houses, but you gonna make a multi-million-dollar motherfucking pet shelter. And so, why the vets don't come home to a couple of big ass apartment buildings where they already laced, where the apartments already furnished, they already got brand new apartments. And if they don't want to stay in apartments with a bunch of people, why you ain't got a whole fucking neighborhood for vets with, you know, one-level houses? That's all they need. You can give them a one-level house with 2 bedrooms in it. Why they ain't already set up when they come home? Why they gotta go through the struggle of finding some place to stay to go to the veterans, whatever unions or whatever they gotta go to get qualified for certain shit? Why they didn't already come home with a house already, whatever they want to pick out in whatever section of the city? It should be multiple sections of the city where it's already places for them to go live, already fully furnished, and they should have a bank account with at least 50,000 in that motherfucker. Why that ain't happening though? Huh? Yeah, we gonna get real talk on this motherfucking Boobang Theory, you hear me? I'm gonna keep this short though, man. We gonna get back on this. Mary Lucas, man, get your shit together, man. You talking about you for the people, man. I think you for the pets. You understand? You got people out here dying, man. Kansas City get cold in the winter. And you gonna put a fucking homeless sheltered park? You gonna put a fucking homeless park in the dead of winter, in the beginning of winter time? You about to put them homeless people in a park? Get your shit together, man. There's too many fucking empty buildings in Kansas City for you to be putting people in parks. Open up one of these buildings and fund that motherfucking electric, put some motherfucking lights in there and some heat and put some beds in that motherfucker and put these people in a place where they can stay warm at, man. And I'm out.